Dissolve the apartheid
So what would you like to
Allow
see happen,
Palestinians-
Hassan?
Do you not understand the
going on,
English
everybody?
language?
I hope everyone's having a fantastic evening, afternoon, pre-noon, no matter where you are in the world. I'm Hassan Piker, and this is the HasanDaily broadcast coming to you live from gloomy California, Los Angeles, folks. We're live and alive, and I hope all the boys, girls, and MBs are having a fantastic one because today's a beautiful day. Today's a wonderful day. Today is a Sunday. I'll get started on one aspect of this story that I briefly talked about, but obviously I wasn't, like, when they first found the shooter, I wasn't live, but a lot of other people were covering it, and they were making up their minds on like what this ideological profile was. I think it was too soon to tell, but looking at like the meme profile, which is a stupid thing to actually say out loud when talking about mass shooters, but god damn it, unfortunately that is a thing that we have to do. Looking at the mimetic profile of the shooter and the things that the shooter wanted to communicate, I basically said, look, it's too soon to tell the ideological background, but it's like very obvious that he has like a right-wing family, Mormon family, all this stuff. Some family members are connected to the military. Early on, they thought his dad was like law enforcement. Then they found out that wasn't the case. That's whatever. But like, he clearly was a white kid from like a real ass American Utah family, right? And even Governor Cox had some statements about this. Even Governor Cox himself was like, "Oh, I was praying that he wasn't one of us. I hoped it was like some Muslim transgender guy from, Idaho or whatever, or from not from this country." And it turns out he's one of us. And I saw that and I was like, that's a weird thing to say out loud, buddy. That's a weird thing to say out loud, but we are living in increasingly weird times, so I guess it's fine that you're just saying it, okay? Like, you know how people will always say, like, because of the unlimited violence that marginalized populations are subjected to, many of you have probably had that moment where you see like a mass shooting or something and you're like, oh my God, I hope the shooter isn't like trans or black or brown or undocumented or something like that, because like, what is yet to come. Well, these guys are now doing the reverse of that because they want to do more violence, it seems. So they're like, oh, every time there's a shooter, even though most of the time it's like a white dude, and this time it was a white dude as well, I was praying it wasn't one of ours, It's not like it changes anything if it's a white guy who's a right-winger. They've done most of the shootings. And it seems like the right collectively have decided a lot of these guys are responsible for the shooting, so let's just fucking turn around and imagine that the shooter is a trans leftist every time, right? The impact is not the same. You know what I mean? There's no legislation to like ban young white boys who are a little quirked up on the internet when there's another young white boy who is a little too quirked up who does a fucking mass shooting. That's not a thing. God forbid if anyone has like even been around a trans person, it seems, they're like, oh, we have to literally arrest and prosecute and criminalize every trans person in the country. His grandma was upset that people call him left wing. I know, I saw that too. Yeah, that was also crazy. His grandmother was more upset at the fact that they were calling him a leftist than at the fact that he had shot Charlie Kirk. Like, she was like, listen, shooting high profile figures is something that I'm not too fond of, but I can understand it. But do not say he did it because of radical transgender Antifa. We are a Republican family. That's what she said. It was crazy. I'm still of the mindset that it's like entirely too early. But I've noticed the tendency of the right to basically go along with misinformation no matter who's doing it. I saw a fuck ton of liberal accounts posting the shooters like a photoshopped t-shirt of the shooter wearing like a Trump shirt that's not real. I saw so many people immediately go, this is a groiper, this is a groiper, this is a groiper. I wasn't so certain. There were people saying he was a DSA guy. I knew that wasn't real. They just like doxed another random DSA guy, which was really fucked up, but classic. But a lot of people, and I think what's more interesting is that a lot of right-wingers, I think when they saw the shooter, also decided he might be right-wing. Because once they found out the demographic background, once they found out his like family, his family history, the right toned down the calls for civil war and decided we got to lower the temperature, decided we got to pray for this young boy's soul, this young boy's heart. That was insane. Because I felt like I got slapped up. Like I got whiplash from how quickly they went from we have to kill every leftist person because this was very obviously a transgender Antifa leftist to we have to save this boy's soul by praying for him. And that led me to believe that maybe they think he's right wing. And I don't know if it's because they have more information that I was not privy to, right? Here's the Nancy Mace tweet compilation. That's the classic one that everyone is obviously pointing to. Time to bring back the death penalty. Enough is enough. Representative Nancy Mace comments on Charlie Kirk's killer allegedly being pro T-word. And then after the background of the shooter is found, we know Charlie Kirk would want us to pray for such an evil and lost individual like Tyler Robinson to find Jesus Christ. We will try to do the same. We truly believe if Tyler Robinson had ever sat down from Charlie, the great debater, the man of faith and grace he was, Tyler wouldn't have pulled the trigger. It's insane. It's insane. They didn't even hide it. They just straight up went from this is a radical Antifa transgender, and we need to kill all of them to like, we have to pray for this young boy's soul. So I think it's like a combination of different factors. One, it's because not only was he white, but he was a corn-fed white boy. You know what I mean? He was a real ass like Mormon Utah boy. And I do think that these guys, unironically, I never thought this until this moment, but I really do think that a lot of right-wingers just straight up respond to race. Like when they see someone who is not just like white, but also not white in a spicy way where like they got a septum ring and fucking, I don't know, a hammer and sickle tattoo, but like just straight up, if you are like a white boy from a Republican family, they go, oh no, that's one of us. That's, you know, it's obviously that this person was not like a leftist. Like that's the way they reacted to it, even if there wasn't enough evidence to suggest it at the time. And I think the other reason is because they saw the Groyper stuff. They saw the people being like, oh, this guy's a right winger. He voted for, or he's a registered Republican. He gave money to the Republicans, which is fake, by the way. That's a totally different Tyler Robinson, which again, Tyler Robinson is the most like, if you were to point to like the most average Utah boy, I would literally build out a profile of Tyler Robinson, right? Republican. It's like John Smith, you know, Tyler Robinson, white boy, went to college for one semester, dropped out, didn't pursue it, and went back and got like an apprenticeship, went to a technical school. Like he did the most right-wing shit that you could possibly do. Not saying that like anyone that goes to a technical school is right-wing, but like that is how the right has presented the best possible future. You come from a good family, your family is always there for you, and then you don't go to college because college makes you woke and gay, and you get an apprenticeship instead, right? Like you go to a technical school, you get an apprenticeship, you work a real job, an honest job, right? None of this like fake gay vaccine related college jobs. Like he did all of that. He's a gun pervert, family of gun perverts since 8 years old. He's been like, you know, shooting guns and whatnot. So I think like when they saw all of that stuff, they went, oh, this is probably one of our guys. As I also mentioned, like Governor Cox said. So they decided, oh yeah, no, we should maybe dial it back a little bit. Having said that, that didn't stop Ben Shapiro from continuing to pursue this stuff, even though what he was operating off of was like obviously a now retracted newspaper piece. I think it was on The Guardian. And what's interesting is he got owned by fucking Bill Maher of all people. And I feel like if you're getting owned by Bill Maher, you should just throw in, you should throw the towel. You should throw in the towel. You should never try to debate ever again. Because Bill Maher is like, I mean, he's not a particularly intelligent individual. He's not, I mean, getting dunked on by Bill Maher is like pretty humiliating, I think.
It's a shooting at a synagogue. It is very likely to be either a white supremacist or a radical Muslim. If it is a shooting of a Republican politician, it is very likely to be a trans Antifa Marxist shooter.
That is just not.
That's just insane to say. Like that was not the case. That did not happen. Thomas Crooks is not like a radical transgender Antifa guy. He was a registered Republican, man. Thomas Crooks was a registered Republican. He was wearing like a gun tuber merch. Sometimes you got to understand, like there is just some fucking quote unquote apolitical right adjacent people that just decide I'm going to make a name for myself by shooting the president. It's insane. I know it doesn't make sense, but it's just not the
That
case.
We don't know. We don't know what this kid is.
We do know this kid was of the left. We do know that.
We do know what?
That this kid was of the political left. That is according to contemporaneous reporting from The Guardian as well as Tablet Magazine today.
It's 2 days out. We don't know shit, Ben.
But
we don't know shit. They never do. The internet is undefeated in getting it wrong to begin with.
It's not about the internet.
He's fucking right. And The Guardian actually retracted that article. Unironically, I cannot believe Bill Maher is right. I cannot believe I'm saying this. Bill Maher is right. Ben Shapiro is so stupid and so professionally wrong that he made the most annoying, professionally stupid and wrong guy look good in comparison. How is that possible? How is that even possible, man? It's crazy. There should be no comeback from this. If Bill Maher dunks on you, it's over.
About the actual reporting by mainstream accepted. The Guardian is not a right-wing.
Here's what we heard. Here's what I was told so far, and I'll tell you what was wrong. First, I heard he's a registered Republican. Not true. Okay. Then he was a donor to Trump. Not true. His father works in the sheriff's office. Not true. There was a picture of him wearing a pro-Trump shirt. Not true. Member of the Democratic Socialists of America. Not true. We don't know what he is.
Well,
how are you so sure he's of the left? Now, I agree when you write on a bullet, what did he write on the bullet? Catch
this fascist, which is also a gamer thing.
Okay, but now I'm hearing he may have been part of that group for whom Charlie Kirk was not right-wing enough.
You mean the Groypers? Yes. I mean, so that would...
you're sure he's not that?
So this is a cooking right here. This is a cooking because Ben hates the Groypers. Ben hates the Groypers almost as much as he hates the left for obvious reasons. The Groypers are anti-Semitic. They're anti-Israel and also anti-Semitic, which, of course, anti-Semitism in that regard is not something that Ben Shapiro actually takes issue with. It's the anti-Israel sentiment, as I've said time and time again. This is something that Ben himself has also voluntarily revealed, like when talking about Ann Coulter and on numerous other occasions. Ben has quite literally been like, anti-Semitism is fine as long as you're pro-Israel. Like, he's openly said it. And the Groypers have obviously like stalked him as well, including Nick Fuentes. I do find it really interesting that like Groypers are becoming mainstream though. Like, they're now literally talking about this shit on television. Like, my mom asked me what a Groyper is. My mom, I was like, it's over. It's done. When moms are asking about what the fuck a Groyper is, it is clearly the narrative that this might be a far-right neo-Nazi shooter, regardless of whether it's true or not. And I'm not saying that that is the case. Make no mistake. I'm saying it's too soon to tell. When moms are asking about what the fuck a Groyper is, like, clearly that is in normie circles. Like, I think on Facebook and all over the internet, like, it just blew up. It blew up as like a potential for the shooter being like a far right guy. And what's interesting about it is I've never experienced that before. I've never experienced like misinformation or at least like faulty information spreading in the left direction like this in the aftermath of a shooting. But it was actually weird to see so many right-wingers also go along with that and like recalculate their messaging out of the fear that this might be a fucking Groyper. Like, I think right-wingers are so susceptible to misinformation that they're more susceptible to misinformation than real, accurate, truthful assessment and truthful analysis, that if you just make stuff up, they're more inclined to believe it. If you just go, hey man, let's dial it back real quick. Let's wait a couple days before we figure out exactly the ideological profile of this person. He's alive. You know, there will be interrogations and whatnot. Nope. As long as you lie in either direction, you can lie in the left direction, you can lie in the right direction. Right-wingers will jump on board, it seems. Let me finish this Bill Maher dunk because he goes, well, don't you think he could be a Groyper?
But now I'm hearing he may have been part of that group for whom Charlie Kirk was not right-wing enough.
You mean the Groypers? Yes. I mean, so that would...
you're sure he's not that?
I'm not sure that he's not that.
A minute ago you were sure what he was.
Hold on, Bill. Hold on. Okay, because I've been...
you were.
That's it. You just got fucking destroyed by Bill Maher of all people, okay? By Billiard Jedediah Maher, dude. Come on. What is this breaking? It's being reported that 6 transgenders had advanced knowledge of Charlie Kirk's assassination. What the fuck? What does that even mean, bro? What does that even fucking mean, bro? Breaking news. Remember what I said about Donald Trump saying everything's transgender and then people understand it? That's what this is now. You can just put transgender in anything, in any context, in any situation. You can just apply transgender to it and people will fucking go, that's right, that's probably the case. We have to do something. Like, the right is so easily fucking duped on this shit. Yeah, like, they went, the shooter is trans. Okay, the bullets were trans. Okay, the roommate is trans. Like, what the fuck? How could people not realize this is a psychotic way to approach the situation? What if the shooter wanted to be trans? You never know. Like, ahead of time, when all else fails, they just lie and they go along with that lie. It just doesn't make any sense. Everybody knows transgender people are magical people. They just like fucking communicate with one another through telepathy. And they were sending out a beacon. It's just like when you start taking HRT, you just have this like these additional powers. You're a really good swimmer too. It's like it gives you swimming powers, okay? It gives you weightlifting powers, and it also gives you the power to precog assassinations ahead of time. That's just how it is. Once you get on that HRT, bro, it's crazy, okay?